Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm S4 here. I'm sorry the tail is a bit shaky. I'm actually not recording at home. I'm actually recording at the food center. So, you see, because I haven't been able to do videos in a very long while and I'm very sweaty here. But I happen to have some free time, so I'm able to record for you the Dragonic Blademaster deck profile. Now, this is standard, and I'm very excited that Blademaster has been able to return to the standard format. It is truly something I am very grateful for by Bushiroad. So, of course, naturally, I had to build a deck around him. This deck does not is also released around the time of the new gifts, Force 2, Excel 2, and Protect 2. So I will be releasing a little more deck profiles because there are some gifts that work better with other clans than others. So even though, for example, Force 1 may work for this, Force 2 is better for that, so, and so on and so forth. So today we'll be going through Blademaster. In standard. So first we play 4 copies of Dragonic Blademaster. Now Blademaster is a triple rare, so hooray for the budget. His first skill is if your opponent has no rear guards, this unit gets 5k crit, which means even on your opponent's turn this ability activates. So if you are pressurizing your opponent and he chooses to keep his cards in hand instead, he's not gonna have anything on the field, and you can also get a power, so it makes it even harder for him to hit you. His second ability, that's for defensive wise, but offensive wise he's obviously very good as well. The other skills once per turn are if you have Wyvern Strike Doha and Wyvern Strike Garan, which are these two fellas. You need this guy and you need this guy on the field, both concurrently, and there are ways to call them. You can discard 2 cards from your hand and Soul Blast a Great Tree, retire all of your opponent's rear guards, and summon a Vision token. Yeah. So we'll get to that in just a bit. So you can see here, this is truly a callback to the original playstyle of Blademaster, nuking your opponent's rear guards. And the whole deck is built around being strong when your opponent has no rear guards. Of course, we do have some countermeasures. We don't just rely on Blademaster to do a board nuke, and you'll see more of that in just a bit. Blademaster has great power and a lot of potential swing turns, but his problem is his consistency, because he has a lot of conditions he needs to meet, and there is an ideal board to have with both Garan and Doha. And using Vision as a rear guard, it means that you're going to need to have also supporting units behind your vanguard and your rear guard as well, to support both Blademaster and the Vision to make it an effective sweep turn, which we will get to that in just a bit. Now moving on to the next grade 3, I play 4 of this, Shrine Brother Cheer Dragon. Now Shrine Brother Cheer Dragon's skill is, when placed, Soul Blast 1 grade 3. No, sorry, so just Soul Blast a card, check the top 7 for Blademaster, which is of course our Blademaster, and then after that add it to your hand and then get +5. So even if you don't find a Blademaster, you get a +5, which I think that was a neat put on Bushiroad's touch. But this really just helps you search out Blademaster as an ideal first ride, because Blademaster needs to Soul Blast a grade 3, so you should have a grade 3 ridden before that. Other than that, if he does become a bit too clunky in your hand, if he fulfills his purpose, you can just use him as discard fodder for Blademaster, which a lot of people don't seem to see and underestimate this card. That if he's useless, or if any card in your deck is useless, you can just throw it out. We also play 2 Fire Rage Dragon. Now, before this was revealed, I was actually playing Blademaster Premium, a lot of you would know, and when the VEBO6 came out, I was actually playing 4 of this as long as with Blademaster, Cohen. Although when the new Blademaster came out, I eventually cut him down to 2. His skill is, when placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, Calm Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, burn the top card of your deck to the graveyard, to the drop zone, for the amount of grade that card had. So for example, let's say you burn a Garan, it's grade 1. So you can retire 1 of your opponent's rearguards. If you can retire none at all, it gets a crit. Now, none at all has 2 conditions. First of has there's 2 conditions that you can fulfill one off to get the crit. The first condition is obviously burning a grade 0. So if you burn something like Bari, you instantly get a crit. The second condition is, for whatever card you burn and your opponent has no rearguards to retire, then you still get the crit. This is just here in case you can pull a grade 3 if you need a huge board nuke. This is a little swing turn-ish setup thing, but you should rely on Blademaster. But he's still a reliable first strike, which is why I still play 2 copies of him. Besides, if anything gets too clunky, I can throw him out with Blademaster. Next, moving on to grade 2s, we have Doha, and 2 other Dohas. We play 4 of this. This is very important in the deck. This is a very key target in your deck, and it's a card your opponent will constantly try to deny you of. Without Doha, a lot of your swing turns will not be able to rise, because you need Doha on field. When placed, Counterblast 1 and Superior Call Garan from your deck. So now you can see how Blademaster's condition can be met easier. The second ability is when boosted by Garan, your opponent cannot call normal units, so he cannot guard with grade 2, 1, and obviously 3. Now I mentioned 3 because for those of you who are very well aware on Vanguard news, you know that Dialiner gives you all grade 3s plus 10k shield. So now, even with that, you are still denied of Dialiner's skill because of Doha. For those of you who don't know who's Dialiner, you just need to wait another month and you will find out. So, great onboard pressure and needs to work with Garan as well as Blademaster in order to get an ideal field and an ideal push. But you're seeing that it's 9k, it's not a very strong right target, oops. So you might want to be careful. You would want to save about 1 copy each into your hand every time you wish to use this card, because if not, you're going to be denied of your turns and your abilities, which is what this whole deck is built around, Blademaster. We play 3 Dragonic Burnout. Once per turn, CB1, choose a grade 2 or higher card from your drop zone, put it to the bottom of your deck, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire. Very good for the return ability, because you are going to need some refunds once in a while, be it for Doha, Blademaster. You just need to recycle things once in a while, and this would help you give rise to that. We also play 3 Nehalem. You could play Berserk in this position, but Berserk eats soul, and you are going to need soul, so I would not recommend it. Nehalem just pokes the back row and gave +5 on a CB1 on place. And he's quite a solid card if you ask me still. For a budget card, as cheap as Nehalem, he still does his job, and that's why I still play him. But of course, I play the double rare version for some reason. We play one of this. I forgot his name. He's from the new set. On the rearguard circle, CB2 Soul Blast 1, choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards, retire, and he gets +5. He's an upgraded version of Nehalem at a much heavier cost, but he can retire 2 instead of 1, and he gets 5. And it's not on place, it's an X skill. So we only play 1 of him because in case the board really gets too out of hand in early game, you may want to tag him in to use it. If not, you can always feel free to tag in other stuff, but I just thought this was needed. Moving on to the grade 1s. It's quite consistent. We play for Garan. Garan's skill is, when your opponent has no rear guards and it boosts, this card gains 5000 power. The second skill is, when it boosts a Wyvern Strike Doha, which we showed you just now, is this guy. When it boosts Doha, alright, and the attack hits, Counterblast 1, draw a card, and Soul Charge 1. So this is one of the few cards that can support your Soul, because you do have quite a fair bit of cards that Soul Blast. And it does put a non-hit pressure for you for Doha. Giving you the +5k helps even much when Doha is already only 9k and weakened power. So now you see how these two cards interact with Blademaster on a swing turn. And now you know why Blademaster can generate some one turn kill turns. But this is really just a one-off booster for Doha. You don't want to be clogging your back row with this because it's just not very effective compared to the other stuff we have. The other stuff we have would be, for example, 4 Red Dive Griffin. Now honestly, you could tag in Armo, but I don't have money for Armo. I'm a very poor boy. Your budget boy always sticks to budget options, and this is a solid budget option for what it's worth. The skill is, when it boosts a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's Guardians and retire it. And at the end of the battle, retire this unit. Now that last few words are very important. Retire this unit at the end of the battle ensures that even when you burn away your opponent's Guardian, the boost effect of Red Dive Griffin, which is 8000 power, still continues. He's like a mini... He's almost like the younger version of Denial Griffin, for those of you who are as old as me and can remember that card. It's almost as if Bushiroad just wanted to tribute Denial Griffin and gave us this card. But I will state one more thing though. It only triggers when you boost the Vanguard. So you can't trigger this when boosting Vision Token or anything else on the rear guard. So that's the only problem. And our last great one is 4 cards, which I'm very fond of this art, even though it's only a common. It's one of the earliest reveals from VB07. Wyvern Strike Mambus. This was the first card for Kagero that was revealed for VB07, and it instantly sent out alarms that Blademaster was coming back, or at least given good premium support. Of course, it was given much better. Its skill is, when it boosts an opponent, when it boosts a unit, if your if your opponent has no rear guards, your opponent must call 2 or more cards to the Guardian Circle to block this attack. Now, I'm very sure a lot of you are very familiar with cards like Spinning Valiant, or literally anything that forces you now to guard with 2 or more cards from the hand. Now, Mambus is extremely good because he can do this on early game and end game pressure. You think about it in this way, even if it's on turn 1 and you boost your Vanguard already, your opponent naturally should not have any rear guards, well, for most cases, and it instantly puts pressure and prevents them from guarding the first early attack, especially when hand size is low. No matter what situation you use Mambus in, Mambus is almost very good, and I enjoy calling at least 2 Mambus on field to boost Blademaster and Vision to make it a much harder time for the opponent. Remember, with Blademaster's 5k a crit, they'll be more inclined to guard. Of course, Mambus does have one weak point though. In the end game, no pun intended, in the end game when it gets when your opponent has more cards in hand, it'll be much more easier to just call 2 cards to get over and done with. But still, if you time this right, it can apply heavy amounts of pressure. Lastly, for the grade zeros, we play 4 draw Bari, as well as 4 normal draw. Now, there are reasons for this, and that's because Blademaster's discarding actually does take a toll, and therefore you're going to need. You can discard this card, come on, it's really simple. It's 5k shield, it's not much worth, you can just burn it off. You can burn off cards from your hand because you need stuff to draw, and that's why we play 8 draw. Also because I don't have the Saber Newt, Dragonic Newt thingy, the triple rare card. I don't have a lot of the very expensive cards that were sucked up by Overlord players, so my apologies. But of course, if you have them, please use them, they're very good. But also another reason why I prefer this card over that card is because you need the Grade 1 space, you need the board space to be able to, you know, use key cards like Mambus, Doha, Garan, and you won't have time to call these cards just for token burning for draws like Ermo. So I rather use this method of using draw triggers. Another thing that I also prefer is also because you need a lot of key pieces. You need Doha, and you need Blademasters, and you need Great Trees, all of which are hard to come about if you've actually played matches with this deck. So upon further testing, I used to play 6 draw, but now I have to play 8 because, yeah. But anyways, this painful trigger setup will not be in vain once you pull off that swing turn, I guarantee you. Other than that, it's pretty standard for crit, for heal. Lastly, 1 starter. And then, of course, I threw in Vision token. Now, I don't know why I have 4, I just happened to open a lot of boxes. But I'll explain why, what is Vision. So what is Vision? Vision is a great tree that can be called from Blademaster's effect. We don't know if Vision will be carried on onto other clans, but currently Dragonic Blademaster is the only unit that can summon Vision. Whether this means we'll get more G units in the future that come back into standard, I really don't know. But you know, there's nothing wrong in hoping a little bit more. So when he attacks, it has Twin Drive. So this is very easily exploited, especially in premium. If you can pull off stand triggers, whew, you can draw. And that's why discarding 2 is actually a pretty okay cost, because you still get cards back no matter what. 13k Beta Grade 3 is quite solid for a rear guard if you ask me. And if you boost it with stuff like Mambus, for Twin Drive it's really quite good. The Twin Drive is really underrated. For those who've played against Blasters back in the day, or even Blaster Premium, you know that when Alfred gives Blaster Blade Twin Drive, the Alfred Strike that is, it actually does put in a lot more pressure than what a normal attack would. And that's what Vision aims to achieve. So really, you can see why all these abilities in one turn make Blademaster a swing deck. So thank you all so much for watching this deck profile. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's really haphazard. I'm still sitting in the coffee shop and I'm still trying to keep talking and make this deck profile. But thank you all so much for watching. I'm so sorry for not being able to make any videos for so long. Been so busy with school. The first half of my exams are over and it will be, the next half is in the next coming months. So I decided I can do a few more videos. There will be more deck profiles. Upcoming, there are 2 more premium deck profiles, such as for Pelennor and for Night Rose. Yes, Pelennor again, because we can now exploit XL2 for even more benefits and more miracle combos to come, as well as a Narukami deck profile, because I've been procrastinating that for a good, 5 months now. I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna do the Dragonic standard deck profile, and I'm going to do a video on XL2 because it's just so good. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share this to all your non-Overlord player friends. Please subscribe if you want to, like this video, leave a comment on what do you think about this deck. This deck was built within very tight budget, but I still think it's pretty fun. What do you think? Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you next time.